Hello and welcome back to the Music Theory Challenge, where every day we learn something new about music theory. In today's video, we will be completing a circle of fifths from scratch, from drawing it, and we're going to talk about all of the elements that make up the circle of fifths and the other name that it goes by. So go ahead and grab your notes and let's get started. Please start off by drawing a large circle. Then add lines where you would have numbers on a clock. So 12, 6, 3, 9. And then add the other ones. 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10, and 11. In music, we have a scale that has no sharps, no flats. If you were looking at a keyboard, this is the scale that would be all the white keys. So that is our C major scale. No sharps, no flats. If we were to write out the C major scale, it would look like this. Of course, you can add your final C if you'd like. And circle of fifths means we're going to go clockwise by fifths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is G. Next, what is the fifth of the G major scale? Actually, I'm just going to add it here and erase these few. G, A, B, C, D. Great. What is the fifth of the D major scale? And we've done the major scales in a previous video. So if you would like to watch those, please do. All right. Now, there is a way to fill in the circle of fifths a little faster. This is a tip I learned from Gracie Terzian's video on the circle of fifths. I'm going to link it at the end of this video. So she says, what's your order of sharps? Do you remember? So I remember it like this. Fat cows go down and eat bread. She says you can do fill in a nice part of the circle by using this, just starting at the 11 o'clock position with the F. Fat cows go down and eat bread. And the fifth of B is F sharp, and the fifth of F sharp major scale is C sharp. So now my outside keys are filled in. This one, of course, has 0 sharps or flats. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's as many notes as I can sharpen. Now we could continue going this way in the circle, going by fifths, but the reason that I like going counterclockwise now is so that we can go in the order that flats are added. Because here we have 0 flats and the F major scale has 1 flat. So when you travel counterclockwise on the scale or on the circle of fifths, it's called the circle of fourths. And let me demonstrate even with some of these keys. So let's go to the G major scale. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. On the G major scale, how do I get to a C? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the 4th scale degree. And that's the C, going counterclockwise. My voice is a little raspy today. I'm dealing with some allergies. So now let's write the C major scale. How do I get to an F from the C major scale? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the 4th. So that's why we call it the circle of fourths when we travel counterclockwise. So let's get the next step after F. Let's write the F major scale. So first you can write all the letters. And this has 1 flat. Do you remember the order of flats? It's actually the order of sharps backwards. So if you know this is your order of sharps, fat cows go down and eat bread, then you know that this is going to be our first flat. So let's add it here, B flat. And if we're doing circle of fourths, going this way, then that 4th step is our first flat. And here's something super neat about the circle of fifths. Instead of having to count scale degrees or the steps, now you can just fill in your circle of flats. So what is the order of flats? We can copy it here. You have your B, then what's next? E, but this time it has to be flat. Next, A. Next. So here there is some overlap. There are 3 overlaps. That's D flat. Now those of you who've been watching the entire challenge, remember we had the enharmonic equivalent lesson? If you check on your notes, you'll notice that C sharp and D flat are enharmonic equivalents. What was the enharmonic equivalent for the F sharp? G flat. And you can still be checking, you know, with your B, E, A, D, G, and we need one more flat key. So we're going to stop here at the C flat. This way we have 7 flats, all the keys are, or all of the steps in the scale are flatted. So this is our circle of fifths or circle of fourths. All of the keys on the outside. You have 1 flat, 2 flats, 3 flats, 4 flats, 5 flats, 6 flats, 7 flats. This is complete. Now in a previous lesson we talked about relative minors. And the way you get the relative minor is by going to the 6th scale degree of that major key. Let me explain. Let's write out the C major scale. I'm going to put it in here because I'm running out of space on this little whiteboard. Go to the 6th step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you were to rewrite the same scale but starting on the 6th step, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, you now have the minor scale. Oftentimes we represent the minors in lowercase. It's just an easy communication tool. You don't have to do it that way as long as you know that it's minor. Now here the same thing applies. It's still a circle of fifths if we go clockwise. So you can go to the 5th scale degree of the A, B, C, D, E, and that's next. And then you can go to the 5th step of the E scale, E, F, G, A, B. Be careful, because now we have 1 sharp on this scale, right? And if you remember your order of sharps, F is the first sharp, so we gotta make that F sharp, right? But still, our relative minor to that D major scale is B. So you have 2 ways to get the relative minor, right? 1, you can go to the 6th scale degree of the major, or you can travel by fifths. And, you know, I'm going to tell you, I am kind of cheating my way here a little bit because I've already had this 5th relationship already on the outside of the circle. I have the A and the A, E and E, B and B, F sharp, C sharp, C sharp. So I can use the circle to check my own work. And I can actually do the scales before that. So look up. So we have the A. What's before the A? D. And how do we check our work? Write out the scale, the major scale, and go to the 6th step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It checks out. So having multiple ways to get the answer is really great because you can double check that everything looks good. So what's the scale before the D? G. So I'm just going to write that. Before the G, C. And before the C, F. So just like that, I have a large portion of this circle filled out. Okay, the 5th step of the C sharp scale, we're going to do here G sharp. The 5th step of the G sharp is D sharp. And the fifth step of the D sharp scale is in A sharp. Now, how do I figure out, the flat equivalents? Okay, I'm going to add little slashes here. You can do two things. You can continue, if you were going this way, with your fourths, or you can get the 6th scale degree, but I'm going to do something easier. I'm just going to look on my keyboard. What's the enharmonic equivalent to A sharp? B flat. What's the enharmonic equivalent to D sharp? E flat. And what's the enharmonic equivalent to G sharp? A flat. And this is how you can complete your circle of fifths. Here it is for a screenshot. For those of you who would like to quiz yourself on the circle of fifths, I've added an empty one on the PDF. There's also a fully completed one with notes, so you can use both of those for reference. This was probably the most challenging video in the whole series of this challenge. So if you felt overwhelmed by it and you're thinking, I'm gonna tap out, don't. The videos after this will get easier. Even the next video is just the review of everything that we learned in this unit. So promise me, I will see you there. Ciao.